We have a 50,000 square foot training facility with a bunch of mocked up aircraft pieces. So before we ever put them on a live aircraft, they're polishing windows. We have a big, huge thing of 747 windows.
Wow. So you got your own like hamburger university for these guys, right? Like you're doing the whole thing.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It's like we use the McDonald's thing all the time. The cheeseburger's got to taste like the cheeseburger no matter where you go, right? That's what we're doing with aircraft detailing.
Welcome to Own the Jet by Aspen Aero Group, where we share perspectives from some of the leading voices in private jet ownership and business aviation. I'm your host, Derek Savage, along with my co-host, Jason Spoor, president of Aspen Aero Group. Our guest today is Dustin Zeitler, founder of RealClean Aircraft Detailing. Over the past 20 years, Dustin has built a reputation for excellence in aircraft detailing services and cleaning products developed specifically for use in aviation. Join us as we dive deep into the mechanics, mindset, and moments that define jet ownership. And together, we'll learn what it takes to own the jet.
Dustin Zeitler, thank you so much for joining us here on Own the Jet. It is an honor to have you here, man.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you.
So your company, RealClean Aircraft Detailing, tell me a little bit about that, because I have a preconception about detailing just being standard across whatever it is you're detailing, but it's totally different with aircraft, right?
It is, yeah. Yeah, that's all we do is aircraft. So it's a company that I founded 22 years ago. I've been in aviation my entire career, 28 years now. I started out as an aircraft mechanic and was working on airplanes while I was learning to fly. I couldn't afford flying lessons at the time, so I was like, if I wrench on airplanes, I could, someone would teach me how to fly, and that ultimately was what happened.
Yeah.
So I did that, and quickly realized I didn't really enjoy the pilot lifestyle.
And what's wrong with the pilot lifestyle?
No,
you get to fly planes.
He's right.
Yeah.
It's great. It just I tend to kind of want to be home more. I knew I wanted to have a family and kids, and it's just a little tough. So I decided to do something different. I always noticed that the aircraft that I was working on could really use better services as far as cleaning, restoration services like paint revitalization versus repainting of aircraft, saving our clients money, things like that. So
one too many grungy looking planes.
Yeah,
right?
it just got to me.
You saw the need.
Yeah. It's those dirty clouds. Dirty clouds.
That's right.
Just get your plane dirty.
So you saw the need there, and you started the business 22 years ago, and.
Yeah, I kind of fell into it. I started cleaning aircraft just on the side and realized that there was, it's a good source of income. It was a good revenue. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It was challenging. We don't just wash airplanes. We do a lot of specialized services. So I was working on some of those things, like I said, paint revitalization, window polishing, leather restoration, redyes, all those different types of things that I think bring real value to our customers. So those are things that I worked on over the years, and over time, it took a few months for me to decide, hey, this could be a business, and so that's how it all started.
So nice. 22 years ago, that dream started, and when you were doing the revitalization, as you say, what compounds and stuff were you using? Is that stuff that you came up with, or?
So that was kind of another thing I stumbled across along the way, is that there weren't a whole lot of great products out there, and by this point, I had probably 20 employees that were starting to move around the Chicagoland area. We're mobile. We were providing services at hangars, which we still do today.
Okay. You can't just go in there with like a toothbrush and a spray thing of simple green.
No. There's a whole lot of things that we have to follow when it comes to aircraft.
Armor all.
Yeah, no armor all. Well, a lot of folks are using automotive products.
Okay, well, that's what I would assume, right? Yeah. Because it's like it's a vehicle, right? Yeah. So wouldn't you use that stuff? Why not?
Right. So there's some.
What's the problem here, officer? Right.
Well, a lot of automotive products have silicones and things in there that aren't good for aircraft. They create static issues, a lot of issues that just don't work with aircraft. But that's what a lot of people were using. So there were some aviation products out there, but a lot of folks weren't really using them or using them correctly. So we started a products company, an aviation products company. So we work with some chemical engineers to develop. We started with a single product, and now we have a full suite of products. But that was another project that kind of we rolled into, because I was like, I got 20 employees out there that can test prototypes all day long and tell me what's good, what's bad, what works, what doesn't. And
don't use that when it made the plane crash.
We're not gonna
this one over here, it's cool though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Well, I mean,
it goes faster now.
Is that a thing?
No.
I don't know. Do they spray stuff on the outside? What do you?
Yeah, like you said, a lot of silicone. It just goes so fast. through the air.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So you got a whole line of products. So if I wanted to, if I wanted to keep my jet clean, and let's say I'm between detailings, right? I can buy RealClean products to use in my jet and make sure that it stays clean and has that new jet smell and all that stuff that it would have if it had been freshly detailed. Keep it nice
do
and
a
low.
lot of that. Yeah, absolutely. So we have the service side of the business, but we
Yeah.
also have the products.
Okay.
So that we support our flight departments. Anybody who wants to keep their aircraft clean, they will provide them with some spray bottles. They can buy the stuff and do some of the easy stuff in between when we come in and do the heavier stuff.
Go back to the business side. So
Yeah.
20 employees around Chicago, and then it grew, to where you are today. So tell us about that journey from 20 to today.
Well, today we actually have a few less employees that are working in the service side of the business in our area because we've had to move some over to the franchise side of the business to support what we're doing franchising there. But
So it's a franchise operation.
So we do. We have since franchised the business.
Okay.
And we're now national. We are in 28 states now. Service over 500 airports currently.
Nice.
And I think by the end of the year, we're going to be close to being in almost every single state with almost 200 territories and close to 100 franchise partners.
Wow. So you guys are like the name in the game when it comes to aircraft detailing.
We're shooting for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're going for.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
There may be some other players, but it sounds like you've done a good job of scaling
for
this thing
sure.
up.
Yeah, and the whole thought behind the franchise thing is we believe that we're good at what we do, that we've got great processes. There's been big consolidation in the industry where a lot of the folks that provided some of the really good white glove mom and pop businesses that had been in the business a long time, they had sold to a big company, and that's happened a lot. A lot of them are gone, and so we're trying to bring that back. We're trying to put owners back in hangars to deal with our clients because our clients have expensive assets and they want to deal with an owner of a business where the buck stops with them versus other models that rely off of a centralized management structure, managing crews from long distances away. I believe that we can provide a much better service to those clients and have consistency no matter where you go, and that's what's beautiful about franchising.
So when it comes to, and I haven't even thought about this aspect of jet ownership very much, right? Like you have to keep your jet clean, right? Things will, it will get, not just the inside, but the outside. Right? You guys do the outside?
Oh yeah, we do it all.
I mean, I'm imagining a big truck wash outside of the hangar that you just drive the thing through. Like, how do you have like a spray nozzle? Is it like, how does that whole paint me a picture, please. How does this work?
Each one of our
It's
locations,
a lot of surface area.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot, and so there's crews that get bigger depending on the size of the aircraft because we do everything from small single engines all the way up to the biggest jets out there. And so all of our units, we're mobile, so we come to our clients' hangars, and so we have all of our vans are all uniform no matter where you're at. All the equipment's uniform, all the products, all the standard operating procedures. It's all uniform across the board. So we have all different types of machines. So if we're polishing the bright work, for example, we use what they call pneumatic drum buffers. So we carry our own compressed air with us because they run off of pneumatics. But these can do really large aircraft very quickly, which helps minimize downtime and provide really superior work.
Right.
How long does it take to do one of these? I guess it depends on the jet. But
Yeah, it depends on what we're doing. Look, let's say we're doing something like a wash and a bright work polish and maybe an interior. That can be typically done in less than a day. If we're doing a large paint revitalization, someone's thinking about painting their aircraft, a lot of times we say, hey, hold on, we can bring your paint back to look like new for a fraction of the cost and a fraction of the downtime. And that can take maybe 2, 3, 4, sometimes a week. But again, much quicker than the alternative.
Yeah.
It's about preserving the asset.
Absolutely.
And saving our clients money and bringing them value.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
Because these paint jobs, a nice super mid, 200,000.
Yeah, you would know better than I would. Yeah, they're expensive. We can typically do those jobs for 10 to 15% of that in a fraction of the downtime, and they come out looking literally like they were just painted. We put ceramic and protective coatings on there to make sure they last a long time, and you can extend the life of the paint indefinitely.
Yep. And same, you brought up the bright work, so the leading edges.
Yeah, I know what bright work is. I have no idea what bright work is.
I'll let you.
Please tell me what bright work is.
Yeah, so bright work is a anti-icing system. So what they do is they put these leading edge slats that are polished metal that are they're beautiful, but they serve a purpose.
Is that the thing I grabbed on the wing that time you got mad at me?
No.
No. Okay.
I don't think so.
It's the thing that heats up?
Yeah, they heat up
it
on the
is.
leading edges.
I grabbed
started
that.
to grab it. Oh yeah, because you're putting your fingerprints on it.
Yeah. Okay, now I know what it is. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But they heat up to keep ice from accumulating in flight. But they have to be maintained, polished for not only aesthetic reasons, but for corrosion and corrosion prevention and all those type of things. So
Oily fingers.
And
your fingers.
Well, like I knew, but so you gotta treat those differently than
the paint.
Than the paint.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then what happens?
Well, you can lead to, corrosion is a word nobody wants to hear in aviation. You can have issues with those panels corroding and pitting and a bunch of different things, and ultimately having to replace that if you in an extreme situation.
Yeah.
So really just maintaining that. It's a part of the aircraft that's very visible.
Yeah.
So not only from an aesthetic standpoint, but from a maintenance standpoint, it's very important.
What about the interior of the plane? I mean, there's a lot of nooks and crannies and all kinds of stuff, right? And the closest thing that I had to compare it to is auto detailing. If I go to have my car detailed, and they're digging out all kinds of crap that I had no idea, like Cheetos and stuff. I'm or whatever.
We see it all.
Between the
I don't
seats.
remember those Cheetos.
Yeah, like what did I eat those? It's been a year, or whatever, right? Like I never eat my car. I'm sure you run into all kinds of crazy stuff that people. I mean, people are disgusting. I know I'm disgusting. Everybody, like people are gonna, it's just human filth flying in these things all day long. And what are some of the things that how often do we need to clean up after that to make sure that it stays in good shape?
Yeah, quite often there's clients that after every single flight we go through and just do a quick spiff to make sure everything stays, clean and presentable.
Yeah.
These aircraft like to be in the air. The owners want them to be in the air, especially on your charter, your 135s.
Yeah.
Operators, they want to be in the air, so they're constantly moving people. People are eating, they're doing business, they're they're living in these things sometimes for several hours, or even when you're flying across the ocean to other countries, they could be in there a long time. So they sleep in them. They do everything that you do in your house. So they need to be maintained, and they do take a fair amount of abuse. So staying up, keeping up on leather and making sure that stays supple and flexible, so that they don't get damaged, cracked, things like that.
Could I use, like for instance, on this stuff? Could I use RealClean products on this?
You could if you wanted to, yeah.
I wish we had some. I would totally do
I
like
should have brought some in.
We should do the Billy Mays segment in here.
Mays.
I'm like, check this out. Restored like new. Let's do
Yeah,
it.
we should. We should get in the infomercial business.
I think so.
We're like so close, man. So if I have a jet, then am I dealing with your company directly? Do I have or is it whoever manages my jet typically is going to be working with you?
Typically, we don't deal directly with the owners when it comes to the larger assets, the larger aircraft. Those are usually managed by a management company or a maintenance department, something like that knows all the ins and outs of what it takes to run an airplane on a day-to-day basis. But for us, our mission is, especially with large fleets of aircraft, they're transient, they're moving in and out of different cities, sometimes multiple times a day.
Yeah.
They know that they can call one company, RealClean, and get the same thing no matter where they're at. They don't have to worry about things being different between different detailers. They're going to get the same thing no matter where they go, and that's what we're proud of.
So you said you're a pilot for a while. Do you still fly?
I don't. Unfortunately, I just can't find the time. The next time I fly, it's going to be for fun, for enjoyment, with my family. I just haven't found the time.
I think the next time you fly is probably going to be when you own a jet.
Oh.
When this takes off. And
There we go. He's gonna be having people flying him around.
I think so.
One can dream.
You walk up the stairs, you turn right.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right.
That's the
better
move.
spot to be in.
That's
Right.
it. So what's the future hold for RealClean? Where are you guys going with this? I mean, you've already gotten to the point where you franchise this out. Are you
Like what's the next level of this type of business?
Well, we want to build out our franchise system responsibly. We want to make sure that we don't grow too fast. There's been a lot of interest in it. We have really, really high quality, excellent people at the helm of their franchise locations. We want to keep it that way.
Yeah.
Our goal is to work with national accounts, even folks that have a small fleet or even a couple of aircraft or even one, that just really, no matter where they go, they can call us. Really building that out in a way, keep making sure we maintain quality, we maintain the excellence that we really want to set. We want to set the bar in the industry.
Yeah.
So it's just controlling some of that and making sure we grow at a good pace and do that responsibly.
Yeah. What do you guys do
great.
better than the other guys? If I'm looking at like, okay, now I'm sold on the idea of getting my aircraft detailed and, keeping up on all this stuff. And now I'm vetting all the companies, right? I'm in my consideration stage of my buyer's journey, and I am trying to decide, do I go with RealClean or do I go with, brand X?
Yeah.
What is it you would say RealClean is doing that makes you guys the better choice?
I think that it goes back to a couple of things. It goes back to we are hyper focused on our client experience. That is really number one for us. Aviation is a relationship business. Anybody that's been in it long enough knows that. And your reputation can take you very far in this industry. So that is our client experience is very important to us. It's about doing the right thing when no one's looking. We are committed to that. We drive that into everybody's head on a daily basis that, things are going to happen in business and we have to stand up, or we have to stand behind our work, good and bad. When things do happen. So we're innovators in our industry. We've, like I said, started a products business. We've built tools that have improved the process of aircraft detailing. Again, keeping downtime low. Yeah. We have a tool that we're about to release.
I was going to say, I got to hear some examples of these tools here.
Yeah, we're building a buffer. By the time this probably comes out, they'll be out there in our industry and in our franchise hands. They're going to stay exclusive to our franchise. But we designed that. We worked with a wonderful manufacturer to get that done.
That's cool.
We've created a lot of processes in the industry that other folks have adapted, but we were really the original folks that started that. I think it comes down to our experience. We lean back on our maintenance history, our background, our being around aircraft, and then we have such a great network of not only franchise partners, but other people, clients in the industry, folks like yourself on the brokerage side. We work with a lot of brokers. We work with a lot of maintenance facilities, FBOs, MROs. And again, it's to bring that value to that client, not only about maintaining that asset, but saving them time and money. That's really where my head goes to, is we can polish those windows versus replace those windows oftentimes just because, there's some scratches in them. Yeah. Sometimes there's things that have to be replaced, but if we can go into an aircraft and look at the interior and say we can restore these seats to look like new through reconditioning or re-dyeing and repairs, that we can bring those back versus an entire new interior. Yeah. We can take all those stains out of those carpets. We can revitalize your paint, and we can polish windows. So some of those specialized services, I think, what really differentiates us.
If I'm owning a jet and I'm, looking for a solution to this, is it typically going to be my broker that introduces you to me, or
it could absolutely be your broker. It could be folks that are doing maintenance on your aircraft. It could be your director of maintenance, your chief pilot. These are all the folks in our world that we deal with. Management companies, all those type folks. It really could be anybody.
Who's an ideal franchisee for you? Like, who are you looking for to open up new locations? Because I'm sure that's got to be a vetting process and something that you're, protective of.
There's about a 3-month process before they even come to meet us, where they're vetted through a third-party company that is very good at this matching, not only for us, but for the franchise partner. They want to make sure that they're getting that person into something that they're going to succeed in. Then when they come to us, we spend a lot of time with them, going back and forth, making sure it's a good fit for us, making sure it's a good fit for them. But ultimately, the folks that we like to see, people that love aviation. If you're going to be successful, I think really anywhere in aviation, you have to build a reputation. That reputation is key. You really want to have to immerse yourself in your local aviation community. And again, that's why I think it's important that we have owners in locations, because they can attend all those aviation events. They can be part of that local aviation fabric, because it all really does attach, across the country. It's a small industry.
And once you decide to get somebody as a franchisee, you're showing up with, SOPs and bunch of RealClean products and somebody that like the RealClean drill sergeant to get them into shape and
Yes.
train them how to do all the stuff. How long does that take to onboard a franchisee once you
Great
decide
question.
to?
It's on average about 4 months. Sometimes it goes
Okay.
up to 6 months,
Nice.
depending on how fast they track through. We have a learning management software that they have to go through.
okay.
That we have videos and all those types of things. They come on site for training. We have a 50,000 square foot training facility with a bunch of mocked up aircraft pieces. So before we ever put them on a live aircraft, they're polishing windows. We have
Right.
a big, huge thing of 747 windows.
Wow.
So you got
that
your
we
own like
have.
hamburger university for these guys, right?
Right,
Like,
right.
you're doing
That's
the
a
whole
good way to
thing.
put it.
Yeah,
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
It's like we use the McDonald's thing all the time. The cheeseburger's got to taste like the cheeseburger no matter where you go,
Yeah,
right?
right,
That kind of-
right.
That's what we're doing with aircraft detailing.
Yeah.
So and I'm guessing, because all these, especially if somebody's running a charter operation or something, where they've got the planes don't just live at one place and they're just going all over the place. They want to make sure that their level of quality, their standard is being upheld no matter where they go. And if they're working with you, you can bring that to the table for them, right?
Absolutely, we can do that, and that's what we do. These aircraft, especially the 135 charter operators, they're up in the air. They're dropping passengers off. They're taking other passengers on the aircraft. Sometimes within a matter of hours, and that aircraft has to be turned over.
Yeah.
And then there's specific things that those clients want, that might be different than the other people that were on the aircraft. So
Yeah.
we're working in conjunction with those operators very closely
Yeah.
to make sure that we get in, get out, we get it done quickly. I think that we're popular, but nobody wants to hang out with the detail crew. They want us in and out, not seen. So that's what we try to do, make people's life easy.
So who's your ideal client? I mean, are you working with airlines? Are you working with like single owners, owner operator type of guys, or like where's kind of like your sweet spot in the verticality of the industry?
Well, as long as it flies, we will do it.
Okay.
So we work with single engine owners that love their aircraft. It's they might have a Bonanza or a Baron or a Cirrus, and they love their aircraft and they want to take care of them. So we work with folks like that, and they're a little bit different than maybe your corporate folks, but we and we know how to work with those different people. We understand the differences and the different needs between the different clients. We understand what a broker might be interested in versus a corporate flight department
Sure.
might be interested in, or an FBO, those type things. So we work with a lot of those different folks. I don't think there's an ideal candidate because we love them all. We really
Is there a
do.
situation where you're like, you guys are too big, we can't deal with it?
No,
or like no job is to you'd service the U.S. military if they came to you.
Well, I mean, there's extents, I guess, to everything. What I would say is we don't do a whole lot of airline work. We have done that. We stick with
Okay.
general aviation.
Yeah.
And we
My
really-
guess is they've got a bunch of in-house people at that level. I would assume.
They do, and that's more, I would say, janitorial type work, cleaning, sanitizing, and all that.
Sure.
Because again, those guys are turning and burning too.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
You see the folks get
Yeah.
off on an airline,
Yeah.
they get right back on, and they turn that aircraft over. That's not really what we're cut out to do. That's not the mission.
So I'm going to get a better experience than my next Delta flight probably would be, right?
100%. Yes.
Well, it goes without
Nothing
saying.
against
I'm
the
sure.
airlines.
Right. Don't lick the seats.
Don't lick the seats.
Don't lick the
Not
seats.
again.
But on a plane he cleans, lick the seats.
Lick the seats.
Wouldn't recommend
eat
it,
off
but you
those
probably
seats.
couldn't be okay.
You're gonna be fine.
You'll be fine.
Great. So what's next for RealClean? What should we expect to happen with this company over the course of the next 1, 3, 5 years?
I think you're going to see us in every state,
Yeah.
every major metropolitan area. We're almost already there. We are in every major metropolitan area. It's about filling in some of the other areas now. So you'll see that. You'll see RealClean across the board. You're going to see uniformity. There's that big consolidation happened, took away a lot of those really white glove services, and we're bringing it back. So it's just, for me, it's working on that. It's supporting our franchises, helping them grow. And my goal is that when somebody thinks aircraft detailing, they immediately think RealClean Aircraft Detailing.
Nice.
That's what I want people
Yeah.
to do.
Yeah.
When are you gonna go
You're just
public?
saying that because you're in
Right.
charge of the company.
Yeah. He's going to be going public any day.
That's it.
Right,
That's
next
it.
couple
We'll be
years.
we'll be there for the IPO.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Ring the
Insider
bell
trading.
together.
Yeah. Well,
Insiders all the way.
Yeah.
if you're not in, you're out.
Right.
So as we wrap up the episode, though, do you have any closing thoughts or things that you would say to people that are in the mode of like, hey, I want to buy a jet, I want to own a jet, I want to, and thinking about all the different aspects of jet ownership? What would you say to them about what you guys are bringing to the table and what they might want to consider in regards to, the regular upkeep of their very expensive vehicle that they're about to purchase?
I'd say the number one thing that I've learned in aviation is being proactive with your maintenance, whether it be cleaning or anything else in aviation, is going to save you a lot of time and a lot of money in the long run.
Right.
It's pennies versus dollars over the life of an aircraft by maintaining that. It helps with resale value. The nice thing about what we do is we have software that tracks every single cleaning that we do. So not only when you're selling that asset to maybe upgrade, you hand over those logbooks. You
Yeah.
also can hand over the RealClean logbooks of every single cleaning if you are
Oh,
within
nice.
our system. And I think that just that adds to the buyer's comfort.
For sure.
It's like I know when I bought my first I had a Chevette. I don't even know
Yeah.
if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah.
the people that I bought it from had every single oil change and every single thing that they had ever done to that vehicle. And imagine if you could do that with an aircraft. You can do it from a maintenance standpoint, but from a
Right.
cleaning standpoint, it's going to make those folks feel better about buying that asset.
Right.
That there's not corrosion. That they've really maintained this asset to a really high level.
Right.
And I think that's if I had one thing to the piece of advice to you that was going to go out and buy a jet or any aircraft, would be proactive with your maintenance and it'll pay you dividends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that really is, it sounds like that is really part of the maintenance that,
Right.
that the maintenance people don't cover themselves, right? Like you have to have that figured out as part of this.
Yeah.
I really like that, having a cleaning logbook.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we keep all those records and
Yeah.
we provide those to folks.
Do those sync up to the like the systems and whatnot that?
It's all digital for us.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all digital, so you'll get literally a digital file that carries over with the aircraft.
But yes, he's talking
like-
camp tracking.
camp.
Right. Like I'm talking API back-in connection.
Yep.
Boom, it's in
Yep.
there.
Yeah,
Right.
Put it
We are
in.
working on that. We're
Okay.
using a lot of technology right now to really be on the forefront of what we do when it comes to utilizing that technology, because
Yeah.
it just helps us on a day-to-day basis be efficient. And the more efficient we are, the less downtime our clients have, and ultimately the more money they
Well,
save.
we know some people at camp.
Oh, do you?
Well, yeah.
We do.
Okay. Well, we've got some pretty smart tech people. That's not me.
We'll plug the thing into the thing, and then it'll all work, and everybody will make money and be happy.
I hear API all the time, and I go, "Cool, do it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all they talk about in our offices.
API.
Yeah. Just get the machines, the robots talking to
Yeah,
each other,
they're
and
good.
they'll be happy.
Right.
Cool.
Good.
Dustin, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Guys, it's been a real honor.
I've learned
you.
so much.
Absolutely.
I've learned so much about the idea of
You could go
aircraft
out and clean
detailing.
an airplane now.
Well,
Right,
let's not go
right.
crazy. Let's not get crazy. But yeah, thank you for joining us.
Yes.
Where do we find? Where do we reach out to you if we want to engage with your service?
RealCleanAircraft.com. You can search me up, Dustin Zeitler, on LinkedIn. I'm happy to I can answer calls all day long. But RealCleanAircraft.com, you can see our locations, you can see all the services that we provide, and I think it'll give you a better idea of the value that we bring to our clients.
Awesome.
For sure.
Dustin Zeitler, Real Clean. Check him out. And join us next time where we'll learn more about what it takes to own the jet.
Thank you for watching Own the Jet. If you want to see more Own the Jet, make sure to subscribe to our channel on YouTube and leave a comment telling us what aspect of jet ownership you'd like to know more about. Own the Jet is brought to you by Aspen Aero Group, your trusted partner in private and corporate jet ownership. Learn more at aspenaerogroup.com. This has been a Savage Media production.